Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. And I want to wish everyone out there that is watching this live or watching this on replay a happy new year. I am glad to be with you guys. It has been a tumultuous time for my family over this last week or so. We've been through a lot. The family has been through a lot, and I'll talk about it in just a couple of moments. But thankfully, the tumult, I think, is finally over, and hopefully we can get ourselves back on track. But I want to again welcome you all to the live stream. And certainly want to wish everyone out there a happy new year. Let me see whether some folks have flown into the chat here. Let's see who's here. My man Hawkeye, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Squirrel Madness, how you doing? Steve, how you doing, my friend? Scrolling through, Bello is in the house. I think that's Rob. Let me see. How you doing, Steven? Matt Forge is here. How you doing, brother? Connecting Comics is here. How you guys doing? Uncle Skeet, how you doing? What does it say? The only one I saw that people were trying to get, I think you guys were having a conversation there. So Old School Comics is in the house. It is good to see you all. She Spawn, how you doing? She Spawn. Hillbilly Comics is here. Samuel is also here. What does it say? Finally catching love. Our guest live. That might be live. Blake, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. God's Perfect Idiot. It is good to see you as well. Gamer Bum, welcome back to the live stream. Comics on the Mind. How you doing? So definitely want to welcome everybody to the live stream. Tumult. The family has been through a lot. I think many of you guys know we were basically sick for Christmas. We were all getting better, and then we all got sick again. I mean, really, really sick. The entire family was sick. Fevers, a little bit of fever still going on today, but flying with sick children is not a good thing. Let's just say that, especially when both parents are on the verge of going down. I think my wife almost took a knee at one point at the airport. I think she was close to taking a knee because it was pretty brutal. But we are home. People are getting better. You can probably tell my voice is still not 100%, but I am going to try to persevere. I'm going to try to continue maintaining my temperature in this room with these lights. It is not an easy thing to do when you're slightly under the weather. So Christopher, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Tina's in the house. How you doing, Tina? I'll definitely want to thank you guys for coming out. This is no agenda, no attenda. So we're just going to randomly talk about a couple of things. I actually had I may make a video about this. I want to show you guys some books. I may make a video about this because I think many of you guys know out there that I like the Invaders, right? And I don't talk about the Invaders a whole lot, but I dig the Invaders. And part of the reason why I dig the Invaders is because of the original Human Torch. The original Human Torch is a character that I was somehow exposed to when I was younger. And this character, it caused a great deal of confusion for me as I got a little bit older and was still trying to rectify Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and the original Human Torch. I didn't really understand how they were different and until much later. And so this character of the Human Torch captivated my attention and still does. And I've actually gone back and read some of his early appearances and like Marvel Comics and stuff like that. And I absolutely love this character. I love Namor as a result. I love Toro, and I'm starting to learn to love Captain America as well. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are huge Captain America fans. I've never been a big fan of him, but I do enjoy him in Invaders, and actually went back just recently and read a bunch of his early appearances. And I can dig Cap. So, but this pursuit of wanting to read a bunch of Human Torch / Invaders stuff led me to this path right here. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen this book. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I don't know if you've read this. This is the Torch. This is the Torch right here from Dynamite Entertainment and Marvel. It is a limited series, 1 of 8, or 8 issues. And Alex Ross did, I think, all of the covers, I want to say. If you have never read this series right here, you might want to read it. I thoroughly enjoyed this series right here. This is issue number 1. Here is issue number 2. I mean, it is just really, really well done. It goes into the backstory of the Human Torch. Bucky does a Toro. I mean, Namor. It does a lot. Here is issue number 4. Just a fantastic mini series right here. This is issue. What was this one? This one's 5. Look at this cover. Alex Ross is just super talented guy. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Here is issue 6. This one's cool. This one is cool right here. I really enjoyed this series. Here is issue number 7. This is the Inhuman Torch. And I did not know such a thing existed until I read this series. And I actually just picked this up. I'm only missing 1 issue. I'm missing issue number 8. So I hope to be able to get that. But I was able to find a lot on eBay for a couple of bucks. Picked up 7 of them. And I need to track down the last one. So let me scroll through the comments here. Alex Ross does such a fantastic job with his artwork, and I don't know if he gets as much recognition as some other cover artists out there, but the dude is just super talented. And I actually picked up some books back in the day in the mid 2000s when I was coming back into the hobby. And I picked them up because I was interested in reading the Invaders, right? And it wasn't until like 2017, 2018, when I came back into comics again, that I realized that those books that I picked up were actually Alex Ross covers. So he's been kind of dabbling in this Invaders, Human Torch kind of stuff for quite some time. And his work really is incredible. So Randy, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Grant is like, Alex Ross is the bomb. I mean, I think the dude is just super talented. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is that he says his Marvels covers are his favorite. I actually read that as well. I read the Marvels. Oh my goodness. And I was so mad at myself because was it the first one? I think it was like issue 1 of the Marvels. It had the Human Torch on it. I actually bought a collection I want to say it was at the beginning of 2018. That book was in there and I sold it for $1. I sold that book for $1, not realizing what that book, well, maybe it wasn't $1, but I sold the book, not realizing what that book was. And I recently, like I said, I read it and I thoroughly enjoyed the Marvels. If you guys haven't read Marvels, I definitely encourage you. I read so much because I was sick. I had a lot of time to lay around. And so I read a lot. And so I read a lot of Invaders. I read the Torch. I read some Marvel Comics, Golden Age stuff. I read the Marvels. I mean, I was just reading any and everything related to the Human Torch and the Invaders. I even read, what was it? Avengers 4 and Captain America 100. Or I can't remember which one it was, but I read a lot of old stuff that I had not read before and just thoroughly enjoyed all of it. Those Alex Ross pictures of his drawings as a kid versus his as an adult. I've seen a couple of those. He, this guy sits there. I watch some of his videos on YouTube and this guy sits and talks about paint. He talks about paint and he talks about paper. And I just find it captivating. I really do wish that his I find his little interviews and things like that on YouTube to be a little short. I wish they were a little longer because I want to hear more from him. Like, why does he always wear a suit? I just want to know the answer to that question because the guy always has on a suit. But he made everything that he talks about. I find fascinating, and I would like to hear more from this guy. So. Omnibus guy, how you doing? Patrick says great covers. I actually lost the chat there for a second. So what is this? Did you get the Marvel epilogue in 2019? New Ross interiors plus Virgin. I have not seen that and did not get that, Patrick. You may have to help me out with that one. I'm not that familiar with that one at all. Wow. That's wow. That's high praise, my friend. That is some high praise right there. The dude, man, is just, he really is incredible. The cover that he did of like all the Avengers, I can't even remember what cover it was. It was just one of those covers where it was like all the Avengers kind of crowded around. Just gorgeous stuff that this guy does, man. It really is incredible. Oh wow. Steve says he has a Marvel's hardcover graphic signed and numbered by Alex Ross. That is impressive. Congrats on that one, man. Just bought the Marvel's 5-book run, jumping on it tonight. It is a good read. The perspective of the narrator, if you will, in that series is just, it's really good. It's really good. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Just lost it. The more pigment in the paint, the nicer it is, says Matthew. Scrolling through the comments here. What is this? The Alex Ross Marvel's variant of X-Men 3. I have not seen that one either. You guys are definitely ahead of me on those. Definitely ahead of me on that one. I have not seen that one. Comic Jabroni in the house. How you doing, brother? It's definitely good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the live stream. Scrolling through the comments here. Okay, I think I covered off most of those. Let me scroll back down here to see what else you guys are talking about. I am sweating profusely. What is this? Just picked up. What did Matthew say? He said picked up ASM 11 from Neo. Congrats on that, man. Definitely a good book. I have not been down to see Neo in several months. So congrats on that one. Let's see what else you guys are talking about. Yamaha Joe, how you doing, brother? He says Marvels is an awesome series. Looking forward to the hardcover they'll release next year. Let me see. His Spawn is sick. A couple of you were saying here. Yeah, the dude is talented, man. So again, if you guys, I don't know if you guys are Human Torch fans, but I definitely want to recommend this one. This is a solid series. Yes, the Marvels is great too, but I dig the Human Torch. I may actually do a standalone video maybe on some of the stuff that I read recently, because there was this whole confusion that I had going on. I was actually going to do a video on it. You guys may know this. One of the videos that I was actually going to do was on one of the like forgotten mutants. And I don't know if people actually remember this, but Toro, the sidekick of Human Torch, is actually a mutant. And I can't remember what issue it was that I read this in. It was an early issue where it basically said that he was a mutant. And as I was reading all of this stuff that I was just talking to you guys about, the Marvels, the Torch, a bunch of the various Invader reboots that they've done, they basically, again, in one of those reboots, acknowledged that he was a mutant, but then retconned it and basically said that he was actually an inhuman that had a recessive inhuman gene that when he was exposed to the Terrigen Mist, it kind of manifested itself. And it was just like this thing, again, I wish I had done the video before I read the retcon, because I think it still would have been a cool video, because they were saying, again, that Toro was a mutant, but it seems like people forgot that. Everyone remembers, of course, the Submariner being, the first mutant, if you will, until he was, retconned with Apocalypse. But Toro was one of the ones that I don't think that people were actively ever talking about. So, But I can't remember what issue it was in which that was actually declared. It's one of those things, I read a lot digitally, and I'm reading, and then I'll come across something really fascinating, and I'll forget to do a screen grab on it, and I'll keep reading, and I'll be 10 issues later, and I can't remember which issue it was. And so, it's one of those things I may have to go back and figure it out because I think it's one of those cool tidbits. So what is this comment? And again, this is no agenda. Is a no agenda chat. So we're basically going to be talking about whatever comes up here. What are my thoughts on the Snyder cut? I don't even know what that is, Connor. I'm sorry, brother. I have literally been sick since like Christmas. And so if it's news right now, I am not up on the news. So you have my apologies there. You can't be an Inhuman and a mutant. Again, retcon, man, retcon. So supposedly, there was a couple of different histories because they rebooted like the Inhumans several different times. But he was supposed to be a mutant, and his mutant powers kind of manifested itself when he was first exposed to the Human Torch. And at one point, it was explained that there were these. I can't remember what they were called, but the Human Torch was created by someone who basically invented these sails, and somehow these sails were in Toro, and they became activated when he was exposed to the Human Torch, and then he was an Inhuman, or someone with a recessive Inhuman gene. Is just one of those messy histories that have become convoluted because of the various retcons and the various reboots. And so, like I was saying, I wish I had done my video when I originally thought of it like 3 or 4 months ago, because it would have been much simpler had I not known all of this convoluted stuff about the Human Torch and Toro and all of these recessive genes. So let me see what else you guys are talking about here. So you're going to have to wait and see. I don't have an ETA for you, so you're going to have to wait and see for that one. Scrolling through, Jeffrey, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Scrolling through, there was a comments here. Even though I picked up Hulk 180, seems like I'm hearing a lot of chatter about the true Wolverine. Cameo appearance is 180, full appearance is 181, all the value is in 181. That's my point of view on that one. This is one of those ones, man, where the market is already decided. The market is already decided, and you hear a lot of people that are like, oh, I have this one, so this one, must be it. And it's tough, right? I think the cameo appearance is clearly 180, and the full appearance is 181. And if you look at the values are basically in support of that. So scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else I missed. Greek Freak says, I read Philadelphia and it was great. Brother, Philadelphia is the truth. The only thing that I did not like about that book, well, there was 2 things. There was some language that I didn't agree with, and then that script writing. I don't like script writing in comics, and I know it was supposed to be like a letter, or a journal that he was reading, but the script writing for me is a little hard to read. So I would have preferred that they had not done that, but it was honestly, Philadelphia honestly was a fantastic read. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I don't know if you guys heard this in one of the live streams that I did recently. Philadelphia supposedly has also been optioned to come out, I guess, as a TV show or something like that by Netflix. And who knows whether it's ever actually going to be made. I would say Don't spend a crazy amount of money to pick up Philadelphia, to be honest with you, because again, option does not mean that it's ever going to be made. But if you're interested in reading a really cool book, I think Philadelphia is definitely one to want to check out because I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Hunter, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. So the thing, this right here has been an ongoing debate with a couple of people on the channel, and I think the ongoing debate is really been sparked by some comments that I made in one of the market research videos in which I talked about the fact that I did not believe that Image was an independent company. And a lot of people kind of, debated that with me. And I think it's perfectly fine to debate it, right? And I basically justified it by saying that Image has been in business, I think, since 1992. And they are the third largest publisher in North America, behind Marvel and DC, who both have been in business for a very long time. Now, if you think about that, if you think about the fact that they are third behind Marvel and DC in a $1 billion industry, that to me, and they have a healthy amount of market share, right? A company that brings in, maybe hundreds of millions is not, in my mind, an independent company. And people say that Image is independent because its creators actually own the characters. And I think that that's perfectly fine. But those creators are basically plugging themselves into a well-oiled machine that has access to distribution, to printers, to marketing, to all kinds of support. In my mind, a true independent is one that is trying to survive, not one that has been in business since 1992 and is third largest publisher in all of North America in a $1 billion market. And if you don't believe that, then what I would say is maybe we should believe what Image says, because if you go to Image's website, they actually do not say that they are an independent publisher. What they do say is that they are the third largest publisher in North America, and they are basing that upon two things: revenue and market share. And so, I think we can continue to debate it, but I think that what I'm suggesting makes a whole lot of sense, at least in my mind. But it's like anything else; we don't always have to agree. We don't always have to agree. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, scrolling through, let me see. What did I miss? Image hasn't been an independent since the mid 90s. Image isn't independent anymore. Hydra, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my friend. My friend from across the pond. It is good to see you. Sith Lord, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Mark, it's good to see you. Comic Jabroni says he's gotten flack for saying the same thing about Image. I mean, the truth is that it's true. It's true. These guys are not fighting for survival, right? And sometimes if you go to a truly independent publisher's website, they will actually link to an independent collaborative where, publishers are coming together, right, trying to pool their resources in order to survive. You know what I'm saying? Image is not an independent company. They are not. Yeah, Matthew Wood said he's picked up a copy of Gung Ho. Gung Ho was a good read. It was a foundational read. It was very much a foundational read. But even though it was foundational, and there was a lot of like them laying the groundwork for what is to come, there was that dialogue that I thought was still there, that was still kind of fun, right? They made the character still interesting, even without there being any like actual action. You know what I'm saying? And I think they are setting up issue number 2, which I hope is going to be really good. But I would say Philadelphia is actually better than Philadelphia is probably better than Gung Ho. And on that note, though, Gung Ho is actually from an independent publisher. This is a Blaze Studios or Blaze Publishing. I think these folks have out three. I think they have 3 books or something like that they've, or maybe 4 titles that they've dropped. And I think they had some sales records. I want to say in October, November, or September and October. I can't remember for Vampire State Building and one other title that I did not read. But Blaze Publishing is actually an independent publisher. They are actually like a startup that are trying to survive, which is part of the reason why I try to shout them out just a little bit, because I think that they're making some good content. And one of the creators, the artist that actually worked on Vampire State Building and also Gung Ho was the guy that was the artist on The Walking Dead over at Image. So huge shout out to those guys. Definitely want to see them. Definitely want to see them stay around. What is this? Yeah, I heard Michael B. Jordan wants to put money into Philadelphia becoming a show. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Let me throw the New Mutants movie. I think I saw something that they were going to be releasing a new trailer for this movie. The first trailer did not appear to be good, and they did 3 or 4 reshoots and recuts of that movie trying to get it right. I personally have felt that movie was never going to see the light of day, but maybe magic has actually happened. maybe they're going to make some magic and we're going to see it. So I don't know, Ariel, brother, fingers crossed. I am a fan of any movie that is related to a comic book being made. I hope it works out. Scrolling down through some of the comments here real quick. But man, Image brings everybody back to the 90s. But the truth is that I think that they are probably making much better books now than they did back in the 90s. You know, back in the 90s, they were pumping a lot of books out. But I would argue that the quality of the books that they are putting out right now is head and shoulders above the 90s. But the 90s definitely, it brings back a ton of nostalgia for me, because that was the height of me buying, reading, and collecting comics the first time around. So scrolling down through the comments. The Whitewell rolling here. Whitewell, where are you? There he is. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my friend. So let me do this real quick. We again, this is what does it say? How do you feel about selling a pretty undervalued keys, the first Kingpin, to get a PC Grail if it's your only copy? Once tech $359, but it would take money. So yeah, man. So here's the thing, bro. I think the thing is that if you can sell a comic and not regret selling that comic to buy another book that you really want, then I say pull the trigger. If you're going to sell that comic and then regret that decision, then I would say you may want to think a little bit more about that, right? One of the worst things for me is regret, right? And so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll sell books that I have no attachment to at all. Don't regret it at all. Can let it go. I have other books where I have multiple copies of them and I can let copies go so I can retain one for the collection. But the last thing I ever want to do is to sell a book, give a book away or whatever it is, and actually regret that decision. That will haunt me, you know? But there is also the thing of, I'm going to let this book go for the moment because I know that I can get this book back later on. That's another type of way to manage it. But if you have, you know, this Kingpin book and you absolutely have no attachment to that book, let it go. Sell it, get a good price for it. Use that money to buy something that will actually make you happy. If you can do that, I say go for it, brother. Go for it. And I actually kind of sort of do it. So I'm not just telling you. This is actually something that I do. I will, have books, and I will let those books go, and will use those proceeds to go buy something that I really, really want for my collection. So I wish you luck with getting Tech 359, my friend. Scrolling down through the comments here, Randy, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, my friend. So real quick, before I let this thing get too long, oh wait a minute, hold on. I did see that. I saw that right before I got sick. I want to say I saw an announcement that Hickman was actually going to do a book with Image. I don't know if I don't know if it's his own character. It might be his own character, but I'm not completely surprised by this. I think Hickman is doing a lot of just crazy stuff. I went back and reread just recent, not reread. I went back and read his FF work. I read FF1 because of the Freedom Foundation suit for Spider-Man. And I read issue 1, I enjoyed it, and then I continued to read the rest of the run. Hickman is a super, super talented guy, and I have no doubt that whatever he does with Image is going to be awesome. And I have not read to see what it is, but I am looking forward to reading it. So before I let this video get too long, and my apologies if it is already too long, I want to give you all an opportunity to actually add a really cool slab to your own collection. Huge shout out to the Patreon members who helped me to select this book a short while ago. But this is the Go Collect giveaway for this week. If you've been waiting for the video to be dropped, to be released, this is the video, and this is the book that we are giving away, again, sponsored by the folks over at Go Collect. This is Batman 181, and this is actually the first appearance of Poison Ivy. This is a 3.0 off-white to white pages. I will tell you that the bottom staple in this book has been removed. At least that's what the label actually says. It actually has a little bit of a spine roll. This book, I don't believe, has been pressed or cleaned, and so there may be a little bit of a gray bump for this one. There's a little bit of some staining and stuff like that on the back of this book, but these are things that could be corrected if you are the lucky winner and you are willing to actually send it back in to Go Collect. It's actually a really, really cool book. This is the one that we are going to be giving away this week. Again, for Go Collect. So if you are interested in adding this book to your collection, what you want to do is you want to go over to the community tab. You want to find the post where I'm actually talking about this week's giveaway. There will be a link, and that link will be active. All you have to do is to click on that link. You go over to MailChimp, you plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 of them are relevant to you. One of them is a phrase that I'm going to give you in just one moment. You plug that phrase in, and then you basically tune in to the Ready, Set, Go preview show this coming Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time to find out if you are the winner. And so the phrase that you need, we're going to make this up, where the phrase is checkers is the phrase. Checkers. That is the phrase. You just plug in checkers into the MailChimp, and you are automatically in the running for this book. As a reminder, you have to be a subscriber to the channel, a resident of the United States, a resident of Canada, or have a mailing address in the US to actually be eligible. So checkers is the phrase that you need to actually be in the running. And again, a huge shout out to the folks over at Go Collect. So if you are indeed the winner, you will get a copy of Batman 181. You will get a t-shirt and an exclusive variant from Go Collect. So there you go. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. No, I do not ship to Ireland. No, I do not ship to Ireland. I am trying to regulate my temperature here, and the struggle is real. Let me see what else you guys are talking about here. Scrolling through the comments here. Yes. Claude Vika, how you doing, brother? He says, this is why he hasn't won a contest yet, because karma was being saved for this giveaway. bro, it would be my pleasure to send this wonderful book out to you. If you are indeed the lucky winner, and if it's not you, whoever the lucky winner is, I will gladly bundle this book up and send it out to you as well. Good luck, brother. Good luck. Scott, good luck to you as well, my friend. Scrolling down through the comments here. But yeah, I'll let you guys, figure that one out. I'll let you guys figure that one out. So, but let me know if there's other things that you guys want to talk about. Throw it up in all caps. It'll actually help me to see it just a little bit. So if you guys, did I see the YouTube support message? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Jacob. I'm sorry, brother. Not sure what you're referring to there. So just as a reminder for everybody, if you've sent me like emails and that kind of stuff over like the last week or so, I'm a little behind in like responding to things. So you definitely have my apologies because I've been a little sick. I've been still responding to comments online, but they've been a little abbreviated, kind of like yes, no, not as robust as they normally are, just because I've been so under the weather. So you definitely have my apologies. And again, if people have sent me emails, I have maybe read those emails. I have also potentially not read those emails just yet, but I will attempt to get myself back on schedule here very, very soon. So, and here, let me type this in. The phrase is checkers. All right, so we just plug that in there. So the phrase is checkers in case people actually need that. I think someone actually sent a super chat and I totally missed it. You have my apologies. Someone sent the super chat. Sorry about that. I was too busy running my mouth, actually lost track of it. But thank you very much for the super chat. I definitely appreciate that. But what does it say? Yeah, YouTube support put something in the live chat a while back. Might want to check that out. Okay, I will look at that. I actually don't see that in my interface here because I use a different interface, so I actually don't see that stuff here. And we don't. I wonder if it was a real thing or whether it was something else. So I'll have to check that one out. Let me see. Let me pop over to YouTube. Because again, I look at this thing in a completely different interface than you guys, so oftentimes don't actually see the comments. Oh, it was Vika. Vika dropped the super chat. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through, I actually don't see any comments in the screen here on my side, so I'll have to maybe look in a different place, or maybe one of you maybe took a screen grab and can actually share it to me. So definitely appreciate that. Yeah, and that's what I was just saying. Someone it may not have actually been a real thing from YouTube. I've never actually seen YouTube actually embed stuff like that into the thing, but we'll definitely check it out. So, John, no, I have not picked up Thor 1. Donnie Cates is writing it, and I definitely want to read it. I've heard really good things about it, but I've been under the weather. We actually just got back into town yesterday and did not leave the house at all today. Both of my kids were spiking fevers on and off over the course of since we've been back for like the course of the last day or so. So I actually did not venture out, did not read Thor 1, but I'm definitely looking forward to actually checking it out. So and again, hopefully my blue wrenches in here are checking some of that stuff out. So I definitely appreciate you guys being aware of some of that stuff. So there may be some other stuff actually happening. So all right. So let's do this. If there's other things you guys want to chat about, throw it up in all caps so I can actually check it out. If not, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up real quick. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. I just saw that someone sent it to me, so let me check it out real quick. I think a couple of you actually sent it to me. Bear with me, people. Yeah, I don't know if I would even worry about that one, to be honest with you. Thank you guys. I definitely, I think 4 or 5 of you actually send it to me. You guys are awesome. One thing that I will tell you is that there's a lot of interesting things that happen on YouTube. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that happen on YouTube. So we will see whether that was actually something that was real or whether that was one of those interesting things that happens on YouTube. So, all right. Scrolling down through the comments here. So Jacob is asking about the Todd McFarlane thing. So I think today there was actually an announcement that came up on Instagram where CGC was basically saying that they've reached 20 years, right? I guess they've been in business now for 20 years. Interesting that it's in, the year 2020 that they have reached 20 years. And someone in the comments actually asked, there was this whole discussion about Todd McFarlane and stuff like that. And I think someone said that Todd actually got sick and did not sign all of the books that people had submitted. My guess is that there were a ton of books because he doesn't do a whole lot of signings. And so my guess is that there were lots and lots of books that he was expected to sign. And if he did indeed get sick, my guess is that he did not get to all those books. I think that it's a great service, right? For people to be able to have one-stop shopping for being able to get Todd's signature, so instead of having to do it via a facilitator and having to pay facilitator fees and all that kind of stuff, you actually have the ability to basically send it directly to CGC and have it cleaned and pressed and signed and graded and sent back to you and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a great service that they actually offered. I'm surprised that they don't do more of that kind of stuff, but maybe this is the first of many that will be coming down the road. And maybe it's also because Todd doesn't do a whole lot of public appearances, as many as other people actually do. And I would say, like, if they could ever get John Byrne to do it, that'd be dope because John Byrne doesn't do a whole lot of public appearances. And so that would be really cool. But I think John Byrne also has feelings towards CGC and graded comics and all that kind of stuff. So, so scrolling through the comments here. Scrolling through the comments here. You guys are digging into it. Scrolling through the comments here. Comic print numbers. I don't know if that was directed at me. Whoa, he says the whole Todd McFarlane team got sick. There you go. You know a little bit more than I do, my friend. He probably looked like TJ Watson over there, just surrounded by piles of books waiting to be signed. You just probably just got a cramp just staring at the books. You know what I'm saying? So scrolling through the comments here. I actually have some trade paperbacks. I actually bundled up several of them. They're actually in a box over here. I actually bundled them up to actually send them to John. John Zeno, who is a member of the Comic Fiend Club. I actually bundled up a bunch of the graphic novels from GarageCon, and I'm actually sending them down to him because he's going to be sending those books to troops. And so I actually gave them a bunch of those graphic novels along with some books from this guy named Albert, who actually came to GarageCon. So many of the books were actually, again, packaged up and will be mailed out tomorrow. But if there's something you're looking for, Anthony, shoot me a message, preferably on Instagram. Makes it a little bit easier for me to get back to you. Shoot me a message and I'll see what I have and see if we can work something out. I can tell you for a fact that, the things that I'll be selling are not going to be as cheap as they were for GarageCon, right? The GarageCon was an opportunity for people to come, hang out, pick up some books, that kind of stuff. Gave me an opportunity to move some inventory. They're not going to be $1 and $2, right? So, but if there are things you're interested in, drop me a message and we'll see whether we can do something. Scrolling down through the comments here. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's the thing right there. I mean, prickly John Byrne. He has been the way that he is for a very, very long time. So what can you do? What can you do? Scrolling down through the comments here. Yeah, it looks like JLS actually answered the question, but a lot of people have been asking this question about print runs and things like that. I actually have done a couple of videos on that already, and yes, to JLS's point here, the closest thing you can actually get to a print run is actually from Comic-Con, and that's something that I've spoken about previously. And there's all kinds of caveats around Comic-Con sales data. Getting actual print runs is there. I've never seen actual print runs. Everything that I've ever seen has basically been an estimate. I think the best that you can do is actual sales numbers and just assume that the numbers are going to be higher than what was actually sold. How much higher? Who knows? Who knows? It's impossible to know just because there isn't any good data out there. So scrolling down through the comments here, but how was the tax on comics affected you? I don't know that it has, to be honest with you. The thing is that if you use some of the programs out there, the cashback programs, the Ebates types programs, the eBay Bucks type programs, and things like that, I think those things kind of help. But the sales tax thing, it's an evil that no one can escape at this point. If you're buying off of eBay, you're going to get hit with the tax. I don't know. I need to look back at one of my transactions. I want to say even my comic shop was hit. Placed an order via my comic shop earlier today for a couple of books, and I want to say that there was sales tax on that. I have not paid attention to like private dealers, whether they're charging tax yet, but I need to take a look at that. But it's one of those things, man. It's one of those evil things. So MegaCon, what is a MegaCon, brother? What is a MegaCon and where is it? Yeah. So I will say, tell me more about the MegaCon thing, and we'll see what my answer to that will be after that. Have I seen any positive or negative results from the YouTube changes? No, man. If you're talking about the whole what was that thing called with the children, the COPPA thing? There were a lot of people, man, that were like, a lot of people were like, I'm shutting down my YouTube. I've shut my YouTube channel down. I won't start a YouTube channel because of this. I was never one of those people that felt that there was no way forward, right? That's why you actually didn't even see me make a video about it. I spoke about it in a video, but I never actually made a video on it because I felt like it was a bunch of clickbait stuff. There was a lot of people that were trying to be lawyers and attorneys and saying how this stuff was going to affect us as content creators. And the truth is I don't know that, people really knew at the time. I've seen nothing. I've seen no changes. I was more affected by what happened recently with some glitches in YouTube's not algorithm, but in YouTube itself, where the subscriber counts were off. Like I lost well over 100 subscribers in one day. And then I would have two different numbers in two different places. And I was actually going back and forth with Comics with Bueller about this because he was checking in multiple places and was seeing very different numbers across the board. And took about 2 days. And then, YouTube put up this announcement basically saying that there were some glitches in their system. And so, if you guys remember, I was right at about 6,000. And then a lot of people were saying congratulations. And then all of a sudden I lost 24. And then it took like 3 days for it to come back. And then I exceeded 6,000. And then I dropped dramatically below 6,000 after exceeding 6,000. And now I think I'm up to like 6,100 or something like that. There was just something wrong with YouTube. But this COPPA thing, I was honestly never really concerned about it, to be honest with you. So scrolling through the comments, see what I missed here. What's my favorite gimmick cover? I don't know if I have a favorite gimmick cover. I mean, to be honest with you, man, like anything that has like some foil on it, Actually, I take that back. So one of my favorite covers is Wildcats #1. And it's not the shiny foil, it is the all white cover. And I had never seen that all white, like the shiny foil I loved. And that was actually one of my favorite covers. And then I saw the white cover where it did not have the shiny foil. And I was like, that cover is magical. So if that is a gimmick cover, I'll go with that one. But just about anything that has shiny foil or some embossment, I'm on board with that. Like Silver Surfer 50, Silver Surfer 75. Those are two that readily come to mind. What is it? 375, ASM 375 is another that kind of comes to mind. All of those foil covers I can definitely get on board with. So MegaCon is in Orlando. I don't go to Orlando. That doesn't work for me. I need to think about it, brother. I need to think about it. So I was recently approached by someone to start coming to cons across the country and doing coverage from the cons. I was recently asked to do it, and I haven't had any additional conversations with this party since the initial conversation. So I'm not quite sure. But there is a chance that I will actually be in attendance at some cons. In what capacity, I do not yet know. But it could happen in 2020. So let's just say maybe. Let's say maybe. All right. I think I'm actually going to wrap this up. I am, as I mentioned to you guys, I am still a little under the weather, trying to recover. So I don't want to stress myself too much. But if you came into the live stream late, I want to give you an opportunity, like I gave everyone else earlier in this thing, to actually add this cool book to your collection. This is the Go Collect giveaway for this week. It is Batman 181. This is the first appearance of Poison Ivy, a 3.0 off-white to white pages. Just a really, really cool book. This book could definitely benefit from a clean, a press, a correction of this this spine roll here that you can see in the back. Definitely has a spine roll going on back there. But this book could actually be yours. And all you have to do is to head over to the community tab, find the post where I'm talking about this book, click on the link, plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 of them are relevant to you, and one of them is the phrase, and the phrase is checkers. Checkers is the phrase that you plug in, and then you tune into the Ready, Set, Go preview show this Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time to find out if you are the winner of this awesome Batman book. This is a great way to start off the new year, right? It's a Batman book first, Poison Ivy, the first giveaway of 2020. Definitely pleased to have Go Collect stick around for another rotation with me. They've been with me for the last 45, 46 weeks doing these giveaways, and I definitely am very appreciative of their ongoing support. So if you want that book, head over to the community tab. Checkers is the phrase. That comment caught me off guard. Chris, brother, you never fail to entertain me. I definitely appreciate that. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you all for looking out for me by sending me those messages on Instagram. The thing that popped up here on YouTube. I definitely appreciate all of the support that you guys have shown me over the last couple of years. I look forward to making some magic happen with you guys in 2020. And based upon some of the conversations that I had with some people earlier today, there are some really cool things that are going to be coming up. And I hope that you guys will stick with me. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Regie Collects on Instagram, or Regie at RegieCollects.com. That is the email address, Regie at RegieCollects.com. And again, on Instagram, which is my preferred, Regie Collects. Take care.